You guys, look at my beautiful little Christmas tree. I made this gorgeous little Christmas tree from Hobby Lobby goods. Yes, indeed, another Hobby Lobby trip. It was so much fun and my little tree turned out so great. Let me show you how I did it. So first thing was to go to Hobby Lobby. What a great place. My gosh, they already had all of their Christmas stuff out and it put me right in the mood for Christmas. Please make sure to bring a friend so that you're well entertained during your shopping trip. And yes, we purchased a massive feather duster thing. Oh my gosh, can we just talk about cows for a second really quickly? I love cows, like a lot, and man, I almost bought so many cow things today. Anyways, so I needed another canvas than the ones that I already had at home. I was looking at 18 by 24s and the 16 by 20s. I even considered one of these cool white picture things with a wooden frame, but knew I couldn't get my battery pack through the back. Oh my gosh, the Christmas stuff. I can't wait to do all these little crafts with my kids whenever they're older. Right now, they're just too little. Anyways, so this is exactly what I was looking for. I looked around and found it. It's some kind of very pliable wire that I knew was going to work well to pin my tree to the canvas. It's super awesome. These things are super creepy, by the way. I do not like nutcrackers. Sorry, everyone. It took some serious willpower for me not to buy all of the Christmas stuff in here. I mean, wow. So I got most of my stuff from this section right here. I believe it was called the My Little Christmas section, and they had so many cute ornaments and decorations and lights and presents, just too much to choose from. But I wanted to keep it kind of simple, so I went with a star, lights, and little ornament balls. What do you call them? The glass balls, the round ones? You know, Christmas ornaments. Oh, the Christmas stuff. Look at these guys. Big giant balls from the ceiling. I don't have space for one of these bad boys, which is exactly why I'm making my Christmas craft. The colored lights were cool, but I ended up choosing the I ended up choosing the soft white lights, and I had a hard time picking out what I wanted for the tree. There were so many options to choose from. Things with fruit on them, snow and nuts and birds, but ultimately this one spoke the most to me. So I laid it out on the floor and decided that it looked the most tree-like, but it was a little flat, so I wanted to find a different piece to kind of highlight the tree. And this little guy right here ended up working perfectly. The goal was to just bring some more depth and color and dimension to the tree so it wasn't so flat. So we secured the goods. Oh, baby. We secured the goods and on our way to the Christmas tree. Got our scissors, our paintbrush, canvas, some artificial snow, the two different types for the Christmas tree, wires, lights, stars, and balls. And I think that was it. These are the colors that I already had at home. And I knew I was forgetting something at Hobby Lobby, which was to buy a solid like midnight sky color. But you know what? This actually worked out way better. I highly recommend blending at least 2 to 3 different colors to really capture that, wavy, dark midnight blue color. You can't really mess up here, just basically Bob Ross this. After you've got your paint all spread around, I would say the only rule that I was following was that I wanted to make sure that the sky at the bottom where the horizon line ends stayed the lightest. I miss painting. I used to paint all the time. This was the biggest brush I could find, by the way. I lost all the other ones. Probably could have bought some more of those at Hobby Lobby too. I actually added a touch of purple to this, which ended up being really nice. It's a shame you can't see it on camera. These stars or the snow, whatever you want it to be in your picture, ended up being the hardest part. I was having a tricky time getting it to fling off of the brush properly, and I was super scared to mess it up because I had a beautiful sky going, and I recommend doing some practice dots on like a cloth or somewhere. The ones that I didn't like actually ended up coming back with a little blue and black and just kind of botted it right out. Art is very forgiving. See, it basically just disappears into your sky. And this is where we were at, a beautiful color gradient, mixed matched, realistic galaxy midnight sky. It's perfect. I love it. I'm a pro, can you tell? Just kidding. After my canvas dried, the next thing to do was to place the tree. I laid it flat against the canvas and kind of smushed each of these little bristly branch things down so that it would be as flat as possible. And if anybody was out of place or, it wasn't laying the way I wanted it to, I just kind of moved it around until I felt like it looked like a real tree. It's up to you, of course. Next up was to poke a hole so that I could stick this bottom part of my branch. I don't know what kind of wire was in there, but it was so thick and I didn't have any type of wire cutter, so I knew that I was just gonna have to like bend it and stuff it behind the canvas. And it was really hard. If you have wire cutters, make sure to cut that bad boy off because it ended up being a pain to deal with. But I got it through. And now it was time to place our little highlight piece. This is just going to kind of change up that green so that it's all not the same color, but this is totally optional. You don't have to do this. I just decided that I wanted to do it. I had a little glitter to it, you know, some snow and pine cones and whatnot. So I cut a little 6-inch-ish piece off of our wire that's going to hold our tree into position. Twist tied it around the back and voila. It's also going to hold our battery pack for our lights. So I've got some batteries in here and I made another tiny hole next to the really annoying stem and just fed the lights through the back, which was a little trickier than I thought. I kept getting stuck, but that's okay. I wrapped them up so that they wouldn't go flying around everywhere where I was trying to secure the battery pack in the back. Now this part was a little harder than I thought. I should have made this little piece bigger. So if you're going to do this and use the smaller canvas that doesn't have the wood bar across the back, make sure you make this wire extra large so that you can really secure it into position so that it doesn't keep falling out. This is the back of the Christmas tree that I made on the bigger canvas, and it's got that wooden, you know, crossbar, and I just was able to position it across the back. And here is an easier stem than the one in this picture. I ended up having to secure the stem in the original picture down with another piece of wire because it kept moving around and knocking this thing out of place. Oh. Anyways, moving on to the lights. The lights are my favorite part of this tree. I think it just makes it so realistic and it really makes me feel like I have a real tree sitting on my wall. I just kind of loop-de-looed them around each branch where I thought that a light would be pretty, you know, however you want to do it is fine. Any color, any position, it doesn't matter really, it's your tree. And next up it was time for the decorations. So I ended up wasting a lot of time with this gold thread that came with the ornaments. It was really tiny and tedious. I spent 10 minutes tying up all of the balls I wanted to use for the tree, and I don't know, it doesn't stay together. As soon as I would tie it, it would take one tiny tug and the little ornament would just snap off of the string. So I got really tired of that. I used the same gold wire that I used to secure the tree into position and cut tiny pieces and just used that instead. And it clamped right on like magic. And it stayed on there. Look at that. Bye-bye golden thread, hello gold wire. So I also had a hard time securing this star on top of my tree. I didn't know if I should cut some of the little fake pine needles off or feed it through the spring. I wasn't sure. I just decided I was going to snap that bad boy off. I don't need the spring. And just twisty tie it around the top of the tree my way, and it ended up looking great. Originally, I wasn't planning on doing snow, but whenever I ran into the snow at Hobby Lobby, I just decided why not have snow in my picture. I had never used it before, so I just kind of put it on there to see what it was like. Once I figured out that it kind of worked the same as basically cotton, I just spread some glue on there and just mushed it right onto the canvas, and it looked great. It brings in another layer of that 3D dimension kind of thing going on, you know? Just make sure you press it so that the glue really adheres to the whole thing. So I actually went back to Hobby Lobby the next day to get some snowflakes to add to my sky. I realized that they weren't as 3D as I wanted them to be with just the paint, so I needed something that kind of popped out to make it not look so flat. And I gotta say, it really elevated the picture a lot. I just kind of placed them around to see what I thought would look good, and then I came back with my little glue and just glued each little 3D snowflake into position, and it made the background really, really come to life. This is the one that I made first without the snowflakes, and this is what it looked like after I added the snowflakes, and I was sold. Better.
Stop tripping.
I just thought it looked so much better with the snowflakes. I don't know, it just really brought the background to life. It made it look real to me. I'm so glad I added them, but once again, it's totally optional. If you don't want to add anything to your background, then don't do it. But look how great they look! I am in love with these trees. It's a little too early for me to hang them up now, but boy, don't you worry. I'm totally going to do it as soon as I start decorating. I'm going to make a whole video about decorating. Please come back and watch that so that you can see how these trees look on my wall. It's been so long since I've had a Christmas tree because of little kids and pesky cats, things like that, you know? That makes these extra special to me. Please let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comments, and follow along for more fun videos about crafts and cleaning and mom life. I'll see y'all later. Bye.